Hello everybody, Hyper Mario Sunshine here, and we're back for some more Ace Attorney. In the last episode, well, we begun Case 5, the bonus case for the first Ace Attorney game, Rise from the Ashes, and we met Emma Skye, who is our client, and her sister is who we're defending, Lana Skye. And now we're at the police station where we're meeting up with Gumshoe. And I guess I haven't really talked about it, but Gumshoe's theme is pretty nice, honestly. I really like it, so take a quick... Yeah, it's a pretty nice theme. It's very mellow. It also kind of really fits the whole, like, Gumshoe, like, police vibe in a way. Like, you know, it's not too serious, but also, like, it also makes it feel like you're in an investigating-esque mood as well. Anyways, let's finally talk with Gumshoe.
I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You'd better not agree to defend the suspect in this case.
Well, why not?
Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime. She says she summoned the detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him.
But what if she's not telling the truth?
Yes, well, no. Come on, pal. There's plenty of evidence against her.
But what if the evidence was faked?
Hey, pal, can I speak to you for a second?
Huh? Me?
Why is this little girl so peeved at me?
She's a relative of the suspect. She is Lana Skye's sister.
Whoa! The chief prosecutor's little sister?
Just please investigate this case carefully, okay? Scientifically.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voices down. We don't want to be overheard using words like faked.
Huh?
It's a sensitive issue with us these days.
Interesting. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe?
Me? Oh, well, nothing really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs.
Detective Gumshoe, what did you do this time?
What do you mean, this time?
Then, what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all.
It's true, we've never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest-ranked people are being let into criminal affairs now. The lowest-ranking guy is in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us rank-and-file detectives in at all.
None of you? I know this is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd?
So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the badger dance down pat.
Isn't there something else you could be doing?
The chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. An officer marshal was assigned to the underground parking lot.
Officer Marshall? Now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know that Marshall guy.
A patrolman in charge of the crime scene. It's unheard of, pal!
Seems Gumshoe's a bit jealous. Maybe. I guess we could show him Edgeworth's prosecutor trophy.
Hey, that's it! That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday.
Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself.
Ah, congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken?
Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later.
Apparently he's forgotten.
But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award. Even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office.
Naysayers? Must be because of the rumors.
Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Skye to do such a thing? Well, wait, I didn't mean... sure, of course someone else really did it. Someone who must have had a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth.
Car and knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened? We have to find out a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. Also, I want to say this, I am going to be getting a new PC, so luckily you guys won't be having to hear this, like, little sound in the background. That's my PC. Like, it's pretty old. It's like 8 years old. Luckily, I am going to be getting a new one, so... Detective Gumshoe, what can you tell me about this?
Huh? Hey, pal, this is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that. You have to turn it into the police. It's people like you that get me into so much trouble all the time.
Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot.
Let's see. Bruce Goodman. Sounds familiar. Nah, my mistake.
But didn't you work together with him in the criminal affairs?
Whoa! Now I remember! Bruce Goodman! He's the victim!
That's what I thought. Could you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? We have these two now available to us. So this ID card belonged to the victim?
He was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman.
Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it?
Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago.
Evidence transferal? Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Oh boy, my controller's slow too. I guess that's a thing. First ever controller issue on the channel. Hooray. Maybe back in when I did my Galaxy 1 Let's Play or something, when I was like 13. My god, that's 11 years ago. Anyways.
Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Sky called him out there to the parking lot.
And Mona's confessing as much. Alright, Edgeworth's troubles.
He's in a tough spot again.
Again?
Well, it all started with the murder of that defense attorney Hammond.
But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent.
Listen, pal, they have always been rumors about Mr. Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with the witnesses. Nothing outright, but there are always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering. They're practically shouting.
But there's no evidence against him.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious.
I had no idea he was under the gun.
Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor position himself.
What?
But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this all for us.
Alright. Well, I don't think there's anything really left to show him now that I think about it. Yeah, I think these two are basically, like, gonna be part of the same thing anyway, so... let's see. Look at the patrolman is saluting the other guy. He must be a detective. And then they said, hey, do you know that your soup will get cold, buddy? That's hilarious, sir! I laughed so hard I cried! I guess he wasn't saluting. He was wiping tears from his eyes. They make a good pair. Mr. Wright, do you know why patrol cars are painted black and white? No idea. Why? Well, I think they're designed after a panda. A panda? Not that I have scientific proof, it's just a theory. Do you mind me asking how you came up with that theory? It was when I was on a school trip, and I saw a patrol car and it came to me. We had just been at the zoo, see? What about zebras? Or do they not have those at your zoo? I mean, he has a point. The Texans in there look pretty busy. Just imagine, right now, behind those doors, a police drama in action! Somehow, the thought fails to excite me. A police drama, just like they're filming in there. I was wondering about that.
What? The Dance of Blue Badger? It's my masterpiece!
You made this, Detective Gumshoe?
The The chief threw together some designs, and I just did my thing, pal.
Nice work.
It's battery-powered, so it could go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances until the battery dies out.
Poor Blue Badger, fated to dance until he drops. Blue Badger Panel, a work of art designed by chief detectives and created by Detective Gumshoe.
And that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know.
Thank you.
Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe?
We met the guy who is... What's his name? The guy in the parking lot?
That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the chief of police.
Officer Marshall? Is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something?
No, Jake Marshall's just a regular officer. From West L.A.
For a moment there, I wasn't sure.
Look, pal, let me try to make things a little easier for you. Show them this and they'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe.
Letter of introduction received from Detective Gumshoe allows Bear to investigate the crime scene. I'll be surprised if this gets us anywhere.
Just act like you're supposed to be there and nobody will look at you twice, pal.
Guess that's it. Interesting to note, I think this is the first time they mention any specific location outside of, like, France in this game. Yeah, like, I think, and LA makes a lot of sense when to be picked. I mentioned earlier that, yeah, the Western introduction of Ace Attorney, the Western editions are based in California, while the East versions are based in Japan. So I honestly don't know what he says. He probably says somewhere in Japan or something like that. But, yeah, I also forgot to mention, Von Karma is American in the Japanese version, so... yeah, so... I guess, that's kind of the thing. So, and yeah, you could tell with his last name in the, Western releases, he is German. Obviously, his voice doesn't really match when he says objection, but, yeah, he is German. Anyways, let's go back to the underground parking lot. February 22nd, Prosecutor's Office, underground parking lot. Looks like the investigation is still going. I have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, baby. Oh, still here? Ah, hello! Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs, too.
What happened to the security guard? Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that's lost its herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy.
Wait, oh my god, I almost read his voice. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. There's something I wanted to ask you.
The scene of the crime, a cold grave for men who've lost their dreams. And me, I watch over them as they sleep, dreaming of the desert's harsh judgment.
He's asleep. Well, we should show this hopeless case something to catch his interest. How did he fall asleep? That's the thing. Anyways, let's show him the letter of introduction. Would you mind reading this for me?
What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right into the spittoon.
It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate?
Gumshoe. Ah, that old cow dog. He holding a birthday party or something?
Huh?
Look, where it should say letter of introduction, it says invitation.
Ah, I think he just miswrote it. Hey, why am I getting all defensive here?
No worries, this proves it's from Detective Gumshoe, better than a blood test. Guess I'd better let you in then.
Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right, he's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me... Hey, wait a sec! Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher?
Well, folks, clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settler, strike out the lands unknown. Manifest destiny, let's have a hootenanny.
Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I say I won't be needing this anymore. Detective Gumshoe's letter of introduction crumbled and discarded. I guess we could finally actually talk to him. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim?
Good men always die young. Remember that, partner.
Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right?
Well, well, aren't you a feisty dog in there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness, Miss Angel's...
Wait, oh my god. That's the second time in a row. Ugh. I just like doing... Once I'm like in that voice mode, I just keep going with it. I think he means that witness, Miss Angel's star.
One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. This here's the autopsy report.
Goodman's autopsy report added to the court record. Death due to a loss of blood. One knife wound died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Is my sister involved with the victim in any way?
Funny you should mention that, Bambina. The Chief Prosecutor Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all.
Nothing in common?
They apparently worked together on a case a few years back, so there's no motive. Goodman wasn't particularly a gifted detective. There's one reason why he didn't do much work with the Chief Prospector.
But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here to this parking lot?
So it seems, like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon.
At high noon. I can't... Never... I try to base it off Matt Mercer's voice with Cassidy. I don't mean to mean any offense, but... Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective.
You're calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. Huh? I was one of them fancy shoe detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth.
Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene?
Nothing gets you, does it, Bambina?
So why are you in charge?
No reason. We're just short on hands right now.
I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime. That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least.
He's nothing but a sad old cowdog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh?
Edgeworth?
That cowdog's been kicked out of this cattle run by order of the chief of police. Just, he don't realize it yet.
Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation? Guess we could, examine some other stuff. We do see this little phone over here. Let's check it out. This looks like a cell phone. Scientific analysis suggests that this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to. What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out? Check it out.
Right, let's check it out.
Oh boy, it's doing it automatically for a tutorial! Hooray! Anyways, I believe we click right here. It actually opens it up. You guys could also probably tell why it's like this was definitely from the DS versions, because the Game Boy Advance probably wouldn't be able to handle like 3D models. Like obviously this looks way better than the DS version, but like yeah, the DS version was able to at least handle like at least a polygonish model, unlike the Game Boy Advance. So that's why this is in the case. This phone's still on the redial screen.
Redial?
Mr. Wright? Most phones keep a record of all the calls you made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just you never know with people from your generation. Whatever, let's check this phone out. Wait, people from his generation, he's like 6 years older than you. You guys could probably still be in the same generation. Like, I kind of feel like I relate with, like, with, like, millennials. And, like, because, like, they have stuff that I lived with. Like, I have the Nintendo 64, they probably had one. Not even probably, they likely had one if they're, like, someone that plays games like me. And, like, also VHS tapes I grew up with, so... yeah, all that stuff. So, let's check the readout button. I want to see the owner of this phone called last. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first. He just pushes the button. Hey, that song, I know that! Yep, that is the... that's the theme of the, Steel Samurai.
Hey, what's going on over there?
Sorry.
I see you, partner. You pressed redial on that there phone, didn't you?
Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there.
Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prospector Sky.
What? It's my sister's?
She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone, except she only spoke for a few seconds according to this.
Who did she call?
No idea. Sorry, partner. Now I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was my phone.
What? Your phone?
Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. A wrong number.
I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner.
Uh-oh. I incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Cell phone added to the court record. Property of Lana Sky. Last call was made at 5:18 on the day of the murder. What's this? Looks like a note of some kind. Well, of some sort. Look! Something's written on it! Has a date on it. You're right, let's see. 6-7S 12/2. There's a name printed on the paper above that. Goodman. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so, what does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self, for deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. Goodman's note. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. This rope, is it? Yep. He laid it on the outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. So you have got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. Yeah, despite her being top of the class. That unfortunately happens. A block, this area is reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are relegated to B block. I dream of the day when I will be able to park my car here. I will go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. B block is through there. That's where visitors park. I can see the Lunchland car over there, far in the distance. Hey, you're right. I like the cute design on the door. I can see a cartoon cow munching down on juicy-looking steak. That's cannibalism. Doesn't that strike you as a little creepy? Just don't think too deeply about it, and you'll be fine. He's basically like, yeah, don't think about the cannibalism about that situation. Let's talk about Lana Sky with our Western Patrolman. So there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister?
That's correct, but there's a goldmine of evidence against her. And the prospector tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. My condolences.
Officer Marshall!
Yeah, Bambina?
How could you say that? You and my sister, you were...
There's something between the cop and her sister that I don't know about? I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gone into me. Maybe it's that dry wind that's blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will. Something's up to something here. Wait, someone's up to something here. But who? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence and arranging testimonies. Wait, forged evidence and evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you.
Rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them.
If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say.
One person? Who?
Hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prospector Lana Sky.
What? My sister?
Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets. Some people load them with deals.
What? You're saying Edgeworth was making deals to win trials?
Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around somewhere. Everyone knows it.
Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was the closest to Edgeworth? So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? I guess we got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone. So, you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma. Yes? I know your song when your phone plays when it rings. What? It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show for kids? The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18, just after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. Cell phone, property of Lana Sky, last call made to her sister Emma at 5:18 on the day of the murder. The detective is murdered, and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. To be continued. Anyways, love my videos, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Next time on Ace Attorney, we will be beginning Day 2 and the first day of trial. See you guys then.